What you think about me, I don't care what you say about me. You're not in the position that I'm in to even be on the same level of me, you know? And I don't say reach. He got like a 60 something, you know? He's wider than me, but that's it. So I'm like, it match up. It matches up.
It's their levels and their stars and superstars. Okay, and they made the championship, not the championship made them. So it's way different, you know. Like I come and I do my career, and I fight with Coro and with the Klaus, and I fight with Mayweather with the Klaus, and I fight with everybody to build my Canelo Álvarez. I am right now. I can do whatever.
In a recent face-to-face interview with Canelo and Crawford revealed that he is bringing his entire Arsenal team to the training camp to ensure that nothing is overlooked for this historic fight. If he wins, he will become the first male boxer in history to hold undisputed titles in 3 different weight classes. Crawford acknowledged the immense challenge ahead, fully aware of the risks and the huge mountain he has to climb. However, he remains confident in his abilities, stating that his speed, reach, and boxing IQ will be the keys to overcoming Canelo.
I've been criticized, and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments, just off of pure hate. So what would they be able to say with me going up 2 weight classes? If Canelo become undisputed again and I beat Canelo, what could they say? They'll say something.
But Crawford has every reason to be confident. He possesses a rare combination of technical skill and knockout power that makes him a formidable challenge for any opponent. On his physical attributes, Crawford said, "I think I have more speed and reach than Canelo. I believe I'm better at fighting now, even though he's bigger and stronger." This isn't just bravado, it's a well-founded assessment. Crawford stands out because he can seamlessly switch stances and transition between offensive and defensive positions, something most fighters, including Canelo, haven't had to master in recent years. This adaptability, combined with his exceptional ring IQ, has allowed him to dominate multiple weight classes, moving from lightweight to welterweight and defeating champions at every level. As Crawford explains, his recent bout against Errol Spence Jr. was a masterclass in timing, distance control, and power, solidifying his status as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport today.
And then you get to see Canelo and see if he's able to maintain the 168-pound division. You know, he's been there for quite some time, and we've seen Canelo go up to 75 to fight people. It didn't look too well for him, you know, but we'll see. I think it's a great matchup. Obviously, Canelo has to do his part in winning and collecting another belt to become undisputed once again in that weight class against William Cole. So it's a great matchup. I think that it's definitely eye-pleasing for the crowd.
Despite the significant weight difference, Crawford remains undeterred. He addressed the issue head-on, saying, "My arms are long, I am strong, and I dare say they underestimate my strength. It's true we will be fighting in his weight class, which he knows well, but let's see if it will be as easy as he claims." These words strike at the core of the challenge. Although Canelo is known for his power and relentless pressure, he has struggled against fighters who effectively use their reach while maintaining discipline over 12 rounds. Floyd Mayweather, who handed Canelo his only clear defeat, exploited similar advantages despite being the smaller man. Crawford clearly believes his path to victory lies in superior ring generalship, precise footwork, and the ability to punish Canelo for every mistake.
And a very strong fighter, you know, facing him off, he's actually the taller man. So I'm leaning towards Crawford now. I switched my opinion. I think Canelo looked too slow, too flat-footed. One punch at a time. I don't think that's going to be enough for him to beat Crawford. Crawford's too fast, too strong, just too.
Canelo, for his part, is not underestimating the challenge ahead. Having recently reclaimed his undisputed title by defeating Willie Skulls in a hard-fought decision, he remains as motivated as ever. He has acknowledged the significance of this fight, saying, "Just look at how much he's accomplished and how much I've accomplished. Now imagine 2 fighters with those achievements facing each other. This fight presents a massive opportunity for Canelo to cement his legacy by moving up in weight to challenge one of the all-time greats, and potentially winning the most important bout of his career.
He'll add to your legacy, the fight
Yeah,
with Crawford.
like, he's a really good fighter. 2 times undisputed champion. He accomplished so much. So can add a lot to my.
Canelo's belief that this fight could have an even greater historical impact than his 2013 bout with Mayweather is not without merit. Back then, Canelo was an undefeated rising star still honing his skills. He was outmatched by Mayweather's superior technique and defensive mastery, a loss he openly admits taught him invaluable lessons. Now, more than a decade later, Canelo has evolved into a complete fighter, with victories across 4 weight classes and an impressive resume that includes.
You know, and then I started sizing them up, and I'm like, all right, well, Canelo 5'7", you know, my arm's longer.
Yeah.
He's strong, I'm strong.
Right.
You know, it be, to me, skill for skill.
Right.
You know, is Canelo not the biggest 168 fighter? So I just started looking into
The mental battle is just as intense as the physical one. Crawford has made it clear that he doesn't just aim to survive against the bigger man, he wants to dominate and impose his will. His trainer, Bulmer McIntyre, supports this mindset, saying, "I see the flaws in his game and know how to attack him." This isn't reckless courage, it's a strategic plan designed to exploit Canelo's rare lack of footwork and reliance on power punches. Crawford's camp is reportedly focusing on lateral movement, quick counters, and constant angle changes to disrupt Canelo's rhythm and keep him off balance. This tactical advantage, combined with Crawford's unwavering confidence, presents a new set of challenges for Canelo, who is used to overpowering opponents with relentless pressure and force.
All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab.
Crawford's preparation also features a notable addition to his camp. It has been reported that he may bring in Israel Madmorf as a sparring partner, a move reminiscent of the strategy Dmitry Bivol used before his stunning upset of Canelo in 2020. Madmorf, known for his toughness, durability, aggressive style, and high ring IQ, helped Bivol sharpen his counters and footwork, ultimately contributing to a decisive unanimous decision victory. When asked if he would assist Crawford, Madmorf responded, "Yes, because I need more practice for my next fight. If he calls, no problem." This addition could prove crucial for Crawford, providing a sparring partner capable of replicating Canelo's relentless forward pressure while possessing the skill to challenge Crawford's adjustments in real time.
For Canelo, would you?
Если Canelo тебя попросит помочь в спаррингах, ты согласишься?
Yes, yeah, because I needed more practice for my next fight. If he's calm, no problem.
Do you think Terence can beat Canelo?
If 12 rounds, maybe yes, because very technical.
Even as he steps into the lion's den at 168 pounds, Crawford remains unfazed by the violence that awaits him. He has closely studied Canelo's past fights, particularly the grueling 12-round battle against Skulls, where Canelo struggled to land effectively on a constantly moving target. Of the 150 punches Canelo threw in that fight, only 56 connected, an insight that boosts Crawford's confidence. He remarked, "Skulls moved a lot. He neutralized Canelo's power punches well. He was boxing smart, and then something changed." This assessment reveals Crawford's strategy to push Canelo into deep waters, challenging his stamina and patience throughout the fight.
He was just moving a lot.
Do you think that's a style you have to employ in points of the fight?
I don't know, because if you watch the styles that beat him, they didn't move a lot. You know, they moved a little bit, but not as much as William Skull.
There's a rumour going around this week that Manny Pacquiao is going to return. What do you make of that?
I don't know. We shall see. I don't know.
Do you think he's too old at 46 to fight Barrios?
Not everyone shares Crawford's confidence. Amir Khan, who once faced Canelo at catchweight and was knocked out, offered a sobering reminder of the dangers ahead. "Canelo's a beast, man. I've fought both those guys, and I think size always matters. Having weight division serves a purpose, Khan explained. While acknowledging Crawford's skill, he questioned the wisdom of taking such a risky step. Terence is special, don't get me wrong, but then there's getting hit by a guy like Canelo. Despite these warnings, Crawford remains resolute, fully embracing the challenge and the opportunity for greatness.
Canelo, I don't think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
However, not everything is so straightforward coming from Crawford's camp. Terence "Bulma" McIntyre, Crawford's trainer, recently made headlines by expressing concerns about potential biased judging in Crawford's upcoming fight against Canelo Álvarez. This wasn't just the usual pre-fight talk about strategies and training, it was a pointed critique of boxing's often controversial scoring system, especially in high-stakes bouts featuring the sport's biggest names. McIntyre's comments reveal a deep worry about the possibility of an unfair decision, an apprehension that, if shared within Crawford's camp, could shape the psychological atmosphere surrounding the fight long before the first bell rings.
Stylistic matchup, you know, and Williams Cole don't fight nothing like Terence Crawford. So, we're not going to see the same type of fight come September. I think we're going to see a great fight, real good fight.
You and Terence have always had like a good relationship, but if he makes Canelo come off the titles, is he on your radar then in the division?
Yeah, I mean, all the top super middleweights are on my radar. You know, I want to face the best, and you know, a lot of fighters say that, but I don't feel like a lot of them have shown and proved that. I feel like I've shown and proved that. So.
McIntyre addressed this concern in an interview with Mill City Boxing, admitting, "This is the only thing that sometimes scares me, the name Canelo. Will we get a fair shake? If the fight is close, will we get a fair shake?" It's a powerful statement, especially from a trainer known for his direct and often blunt assessments. The message is clear, McIntyre fears that even if Crawford delivers a performance worthy of victory, the judges may still lean toward the more established, marketable star, Canelo, a fighter with a history of receiving favorable scorecards in tightly contested bouts.
Canelo Álvarez.
I don't gotta stop him. I just gotta beat him. I'm not going in there looking to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. You know, when I look at Canelo, he's a smaller, bigger guy moving up in divisions. You know, being that these big guys are slower, so they might catch him with something, but he might see it at the last moment. You know, they might.
This isn't the first time Canelo has been at the center of controversial judging. His disputed 2017 bout with Gennady Golovkin remains one of the most debated decisions in recent boxing history. The infamous 118-110 scorecard from Judge Adelaide Bird became a flashpoint for critics who argue that A-list fighters like Canelo often benefit from judges favoring aggression and star power over technique and ring generalship. McIntyre's preemptive comments go beyond strategy. They are a psychological play meant to keep pressure on the judges to score fairly, especially under the intense scrutiny that will surround every round of this high-stakes showdown.
Guys like Crawford, because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight, and he don't move that much now. So
Canelo's the face. But there's another layer to this strategy that reveals the internal dynamics within Crawford's camp. McIntyre's comments can also be seen as a safeguard against potential backlash if Crawford comes up short. By planting the seeds of a possible scoring controversy, is effectively creating an insurance policy against the narrative of a clean loss. It's a calculated move, one that acknowledges many of Crawford's supporters may not view a decision defeat to a naturally bigger fighter as a straightforward loss, but rather as another case of boxing politics influencing the outcome.
There was something until Crawford fought him, so obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Apparently no rehydration clause, am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best, so why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best?
It's also a somewhat unusual approach, considering Crawford's own public confidence. The Nebraska native has consistently stated that his skill set, reach, and boxing IQ are more than enough to neutralize Canelo's advantages in power and size. This apparent messaging conflict within Team Crawford raises an important question. McIntyre's concerns rooted in a genuine fear of biased judging, or are they a strategic attempt to shape the post-fight narrative? Either way, Crawford, known for his steely focus and unshakable self-belief, may not fully align with his trainer's implied lack of confidence in his ability to win decisively without relying on external factors.
G on Bud's resume. There's no Trout on Bud's resume. There's no Daniel Jacobs on Bud's resume. Canelo is the one that's fought the elite level opposition. It's Canelo that fought Laura. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ. Bud has never faced a multiple...
While Crawford is a champion, he has never faced a multi-division star quite like Canelo. And beyond the fight itself, the event is already encountering logistical hurdles. Despite the high-profile nature of the bout, which is expected to draw a massive crowd, UFC President Dana White, who is helping promote the event, has expressed strong disapproval of the proposed venue, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. White, known for his firm opinions and preference for hosting UFC events in tightly packed arenas, recently reiterated his stance. "Nothing will change my mind about a stadium show. I truly love this town, and the energy was great all night. That's the energy you feel in an arena," he said. His dissatisfaction goes beyond personal taste. For White, it's a matter of practicality and atmosphere. The UFC has built its brand around the raw, intimate energy of enclosed venues, where crowd reactions fuel the action. Recreating that same intensity in a massive stadium, even for a boxing spectacle of this magnitude, is a serious challenge. Still, White has committed to making the experience inside Allegiant Stadium as impactful as possible. "Yeah, I hate it. I dislike it so much that I'm going to have to figure out how to make it a unique experience inside Allegiant Stadium," he stated, signaling his intent to pull out all the stops to ensure the event's success.
It's still the man.
Yes.
You know?
He's been for a long, long time.
And he jumps in there and he does it and he goes to work, and it's hard to stay at that level for a very long time. And Canelo's another guy. I mean, what's this guy clipping?
In a recent interview, veteran boxing promoter Frank Warren added to the growing buzz surrounding the fight. Reflecting on Canelo's recent bout with William Skull, Warren remarked that the Mexican superstar looked vulnerable at times. "You know, Skull was catching Canelo. It makes Crawford's fight all the more intriguing," he said, emphasizing that even a legend like Canelo can be hit if faced with a disciplined, precise opponent. Warren's comments echo a widely held belief among boxing insiders: for all his power and experience, Canelo can still be outboxed by a sharp, tactical fighter who avoids getting drawn into a slugfest. Interview 17.
Canelo a real problem now. I think early on you could see, he's a mover and he's obviously a very good boxer. I think to start with, when he's throwing his jab, it was falling short. They weren't emphatic punches, and I think as it slowed down, it was then connected. He was catching it. It makes that Crawford fight, I think, more an intriguing fight. I always say a good big and beat a good little one, and he's got to give a lot of weight away, Crawford, but he could give Canelo a real problem now, because Canelo...
Frank Warren's insights carry significant weight, especially considering Crawford's adaptable fighting style, marked by his ability to switch stances and effectively utilize his reach. Crawford possesses the tools to replicate some of Skull's successes against Canelo, but with greater precision and finishing prowess. If he can draw Canelo into a tactical contest rather than a slugfest, Crawford stands a genuine chance of neutralizing the Mexican's power and securing a points victory. However, Warren rightly emphasizes the challenge posed by the weight disparity. "A good big UN will beat a good little UN," he noted, highlighting the physical realities Crawford must confront. Canelo, for his part, has maintained a respectful yet resolute stance. Acknowledging Crawford's elite status, he has made it clear that he intends to defend his domain at 168 pounds.
His question to me: how will the 12-pound difference be for Terence Crawford? It's going to be his first fight at 168. For Canelo, this is the weight class that he always fights at, no problem. But I'm really curious on how Terence Crawford is going to be able to adjust to this, and if it's going to be...
The upcoming bout between Terence Crawford and Canelo Álvarez transcends a mere clash of styles or a test of wills. It stands as a referendum on the sport itself. With questions surrounding judging fairness, weight disparities, and promotional politics, the stakes are monumental. For Terence Crawford, the fight offers a historic opportunity to become the first male boxer to achieve undisputed status in 3 weight divisions, a feat that would etch his name among boxing's legends. Conversely, for Canelo Álvarez, it's a chance to reaffirm his dominance and silence lingering doubts about his place among the all-time greats. However, some observers question the narrative emerging from Crawford's camp. Trainer Brian "Bo" McIntyre's preemptive concerns about potential judging bias have sparked debate. Is this a genuine apprehension about fairness or an attempt to influence the post-fight discourse in case of a loss? Crawford, known for his unwavering confidence and focus, may not align with this cautious approach, preferring to let his performance speak for itself. As the boxing world eagerly anticipates this monumental showdown, opinions vary on the outcome. Will Crawford's technical prowess and adaptability overcome Canelo's power and experience? Or will the size and strength of the Mexican champion prove insurmountable? What are your thoughts? Do you believe Crawford can defy the odds and make history, or will Canelo's dominance continue? And regarding McIntyre's comments, are they a strategic move or a sign of doubt?